Hi, Taurus. Taurus, the bull. The bull. You guys can be stubborn. And what I've done is, first of all, welcome to Little Bird Resonance. I am new to YouTube, and I've decided that for each zodiacal sign, at least at this point, I'm going to be, rather than wasting recording time, because my equipment and the memory of my equipment honestly is very limited at this time. So I go ahead and lay out the cards and then begin recording the message. So I use 3 decks. The first one is, this is the one that I use, these larger cards. I use these for the foundation of the matter, and I really hope that you guys can see this okay. Let me check and see how that's doing. Okay, so Sacred Circle Tarot. These are the cards that I typically use for the foundation, the overall foundation of the matter. And what I do is, I don't specifically do love readings. I do I focus on whatever group of people needs to know most at any given time, or I should say at the time of the reading. Sometimes it applies to love predominantly, and this specific spread does seem to predominantly apply to for a lot of you, your love life. But you'll see in a lot of my videos that it may be predominantly career or family oriented, just whatever comes up, whatever is most needed to know. And obviously it's a general reading, so I try to keep that in mind, read the cards accordingly. And how I read the cards is, I literally read the cards, understanding that there is a universal meaning, there is a universal vibration to each card. Even so, I look very closely at the cards and pay attention to how they become animated. The very same card in one spread can look very different to me in another spread. So I have to pay close attention. So I'm not always going to deliver the universal meaning of the card. I'm going to deliver the meaning of the card in the context of any given reading. The second deck that I use for, I use this for things that we need to be aware of, things we need to look out for, clarification, and even validation for myself. If I'm seeing a certain subject matter in the foundation cards, and I just need a little extra validation of that, I use these cards. So they're clarifying cards, but also things that we really need to look out for and be aware of. And for that, I typically use the Gateway to the Divine Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, or Marchetti. I think it's Marchetti. Very, very intense cards, but they hold a lot of information. The third deck that I use, and that you don't see that here, I call that my high deck. Like I use it for, you know, this is all high information. This all comes from a very high place. I put a lot of time into prayer and focus before I do any reading, so I know that it all comes from a high place. But this deck, this is my high deck. So I will use this typically at the end of a reading, if there's time to, or if there's an intense feeling that it's necessary, for very high advice from what I would call the infinite Christ, or what some people call spirit, God. So that deck is a beautiful deck called the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz, and I hope you guys can see this. And hopefully I'll have time to flip some of these out for you guys, because there is definitely some stuff going on with you Taurus. What I did is, this is technically for September 2017, but what I focus on is recent past, present, near future. So, you know, time being more fluid than what we're used to thinking of it. I don't want to just box it into, this is September. So recent past, present, near future. That's what's going on. That's what I'm looking at here for you. And what I'm seeing, let's go ahead and dive in, is that the heart of the matter here is there is something going on with you Taurus, you Tauruses, you bulls, that you're really looking at something or someone closely, and you're uncertain. You're uncertain if this is a trustworthy situation, if this is a trustworthy person. And actually, you guys, it seems like for some of you, you're spending so much time hesitating because of this feeling of uncertainty, that you could be hurting yourself. You could be causing a lot of well, you could be missing out on some really big opportunities. You could be causing some emotional or spiritual turmoil that is unnecessary. And let me try to move this around, make sure you guys can see it. This is the Page of Swords. Specifically what this looks like to me is, like I said, definitely some trust issues, not knowing if you should move forward with something or someone. But the hesitation has been going on for so long for some of you, or is so extreme for some of you, that it could actually be causing this clarifier card, the Tower. We all know this, right? So you could be causing some self-destruction in some way, and it really, more than anything, feels like you could be missing out on something really good by the extent of this hesitation. So they're going on to the opposing factors. Your mind. You don't know. You're up and down, back and forth. You are, this being opposing factors, it lays across the heart of the matter. So I have to read it either way, right? So your mind, there are moments of strength, there are moments of weakness, there are moments of certainty, there are moments of uncertainty. You're just kind of all over the place with whatever this is that's going on. And like I said, I don't typically just do love readings, but this feels like a predominant, for most of you, some type of relationship. Now this could apply to the workplace. You could have some issues going on there with coworkers, where there's some distrust or uncertainty, maybe with your boss, or with your the position that you hold, for instance. But for most of you, or a lot of you, I really do think that this is some kind of relationship with another person, and there is trust involved. Your mind, here's the clarifying card, guys, Queen of Swords. Again, I have to read this both ways because it's opposing. These are the opposing factors. It's your mind. Your mind is really getting in your way. See there? So you have, and the rest of the spread kind of explains this more. It seems like for most of you, we'll get to the root of the matter right now, these trust issues, this sense of uncertainty, this you know, maybe taking little tiny baby steps forward and then jumping back out of a sense of self-preservation. It seems to be related to past, something that has happened to you in the past. So if you were in a relationship and you were deceived, for instance, and for a lot of you, that I think that is the case. You're just so uncertain on how to move forward, what choice to make, and this is all due to choices that were made in the past that you are somehow blaming yourself for. Maybe for some of you there were signs that you should have seen, that you did see, but you ignored them. Maybe for some of you, you just didn't see it coming at all, and that feels very strong for a lot of you, which is explaining why this entire spread is so intensely delivering the message of self-preservation, like self-preservation. I gotta protect myself. Again, there it is. Really wanting to protect yourself, and your mind. Again, this card is just re-emphasizing that your mind is all over the place due to something that happened in the past. For some of you, as we move on to through the spread, it happened. A similar situation happened to you more than once in the past. And again, for others of you, it feels like you just did not see this coming. So in a past, probably relationship, that feels like the most predominant thing here. And so you are just so on guard, like so on guard. This is so intensely screaming that you guys are just so on guard. And if you remain that way, I think that you're going to miss out on some things, and we'll get to that. So here's the past stuff. So we have the root cause. We just talked about that. Past influences, whatever occurred, for a lot of you, it seems like it caused you to, and in this way, it kind of feels like, even though it might have been a painful thing, that it was a necessary thing, because it caused you to go inside yourself, to really look at things about yourself, sort things out, find perspective. However, there's still that intense trepidation, that intense sense of fear, that same kind of pain, that same kind of hurt that happened in the past. And for some of you, it could have been the very recent past. It's just still very present, and it's getting in the way. It's getting in the way. And here, you just the trust issues, the indecision, the uncertainty. And this being in the past, a lot of times this card, again, I don't always see things as the universal vibration dictates. This being in the past influence position, again, the animated message here, to me, is, well, number one, again, I have to say, for a lot of you, whatever happened, you did not see it coming. you didn't. And that's why this heavy self-preservation is on the table right now. It shocked you. For others of you, you might have seen it coming. Regardless, there are trust issues. There are, and that being in the past position too, the position of past influences, it's almost as if for a lot of you who did see the signs and ignored them, you're really beating yourself up for that. And it's causing the same kind of trepidation that is all through this spread. And you know, I'm like I said, this could apply to family, this could apply to career. So take it as it resonates with you. Predominantly though, I think a lot of you are dealing with a relationship. And this could be a relationship, this could be a love relationship, this could be a relationship with, I just now, this just hit. There may be some of you who are, yes, there are some of you, somebody out there watching this video, you have just been reunited with a parent that you have been estranged from. And there are issues, there are a lot of trust issues, there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of emotion coming up from the past getting in the way, which I would imagine is completely normal, but it needs to be dealt with, and we'll get to that through the rest of the spread. So somebody out there is watching this video, reunited with a parent, an estranged parent, a long lost friend who might have deceived you in some way a long time ago, something like that. For some of you, that's going on. The goal, it's almost like you feel like you need a referee for yourself. It's like you recognize everything that I'm saying. You recognize that you are on guard, that you are in self-preservation mode, and you even, a lot of you recognize, and this comes up several times later, we'll get to it in just a second, that you could be missing out on something because of this, but the fear is so prominent that it's hard for a lot of you to make a decision. So there's a sense of like needing this internal referee, and for some of you, yeah, this really feels like an internal thing dominantly. There is, for the clarifying cards, there is this is the Emperor, but he's reversed. So, you know, the Emperor, this being in the goal position and being reversed, the Emperor is very aware. The Emperor is all about balance and all about fairness and watching and just high awareness. And this being in the goal position and being reversed, like I said, for a lot of you, you recognize what's going on, and you want to be able to step back from that, to not be on high alert, to not yeah, to just not be on high alert. You want to be able to relax. You want to be able to trust. You want to be able to breathe. Um, and as this spread moves on, I don't like to give definitive outcomes because free will is involved, and I'm a student. I'm not a master, so I could be reading wrong. But if you guys let yourself breathe, if you guys let yourself trust, you're going to be okay. I think for the majority of you, this is going to turn out okay. Another clarifier for the goal. So this is, hopefully you can see this is the Chariot card. And she's moving forward. She's moving forward with decision. So again, this is the goal. This is in the goal position. So it's that indecision that you want to get out of the way, that uncertainty that you need out of the way so that you can move forward. And it's not baby steps and then jumping back, like fist balled up, ready to run. That's what it feels like. Just this tension that you need to let go of. And for a lot of you, it's going to be hard to do because something pretty extreme happened to cause this in you. And it feels like whatever that was for a lot of you, as painful as it was meant to happen to teach you some things. And for a lot of you, you went inside yourself and figured some of that out. But you still are not quite sure, not quite comfortable, not quite ready to put those lessons into practice. So in the future position, we have, it looks like for many of you, again, it's choice. It's choice. It is possible that for some of you, you are dealing, like, this is not about you. This could be about your partner. For some of you, the person that you are involved with is going through this and is stepping back from you. And you are unsure as to how to handle that. But for a lot of you, this is you. This uncertainty is you. In the future position, we just have choice. We have making a decision, trusting yourself. Yeah, I mean, this is the Seven of Cups reversed. So, in its upright position, there's like so many choices, like just being overwhelmed with thoughts and options and possibilities, just running through. It feels like some of you are just so inside your heads about this situation that you're running through every possibility that could be going on in any given moment, and it's overwhelming you. So this being in the future position and being reversed, along with the Foundation card, the Knight of Discs, I hope you guys can see this. It looks like for a lot of you, you are going to exhale. You are going to take a chance. You are going to decide to trust your instincts, to trust the person that you're involved with. If this is not a love affair or a relationship of some kind, then in the workplace, You're going to, if it, for example, the workplace, you're going to, a lot of you are going to decide to trust your instincts, to take chances, even, rather than sitting quietly in your cubicle or in your office. You're gonna start trusting yourself. You're gonna start trusting your instincts. Take some chances. Get out there. And it's for a lot of you, it's gonna work out. Seems that way anyway. And the other clarifier is the Empress reversed. Now, again, I am very aware of the universal meaning of this card, but I'm telling you that the animated context of this is coming up for air. It's making a decision to again, to move forward, to breathe, to trust, to have this new beginning that still has this uncertainty attached to it, but you're deciding to move forward anyway, and hoping for the best. So the position of you, the foundation card, prudence. So, you know, obviously you guys are really, for a lot of you, just being very very observant, very practical, for a lot of you, overly practical, overly logical, overly analytical, and the clarifying cards seem to suggest that that is the case for a lot of you. And again, that it just kind of all goes together and tells a story. So just again, there's a choice to be made that you're actually, for a lot of you, you're actually being offered, a choice of, and when I say this, I mean this from like a high place. Like whatever is going on that you are putting on hold, that you are so uncertain about, this choice is, and this comes up later too, is, this is important. This is an important turning point in your life. This is a time to apply lessons. This is a time to trust your instincts and make this decision. Make a decision and go for it with the knowledge that you gained from past experience. Again, that's clarifying the position of you. Base card being prudence. The other clarifying card for you is the Four of Coins. Just look at them, really, guys. Just holding everything back. Holding everything back. Not wanting to give anything. And that's because of this uncertainty. That's because of something for a lot of you that was pretty traumatizing. So I'm not at all saying that this isn't warranted for a lot of you. This feeling of not knowing what to do, this feeling of not knowing which direction to move in, and for a lot of you, knowing that, sensing like instinctually that you need to make a decision or you're gonna lose out on something. Yeah, I mean, this seems like a pinnacle point for many of you, and I wish so bad that I could definitively just tell you what to do, but all I can do is tell you what I see, and you guys take it as it comes and figure out what you want to do, what's good for you. So external influences, again, keeping with this whole storyline here, this whole situation, we've got the star reversed. So external influences, you are either feeling or coming out of a state of feeling like, and this seems to really apply to those of you who experienced something in the past that you did not see it coming. It was as if, I mean, you just felt like the help you needed wasn't there. The guidance that you needed wasn't there, or isn't there for some of you. And this is external influences, that things that are influencing this situation. I'm not saying that this is true. I'm not saying that you guys do not have guidance, because of course you do. But there are a lot of you that feel like, where is it? Where's my guidance? Where did it go? What am I supposed to do? You know, where is God in all this? Or where was God in all of that? For whatever it was that happened in the past. And again, this is still, we're still in external influences. It's a feeling of just not having the help, that you need, needing, you know, that goal card of that, like, internal referee, or for some of you, it could be the need for just external guidance or counsel, and just the feeling that you desperately need that, and the feeling that is absent for a lot of you is really feeding this whole self-preservation, really being super duper extra on guard, stepping back, defensive posture, and then kind of maybe letting go and loosening up for a minute, and then stepping back again, because of a situation that happened in the past. Could be for yeah. So external influences, there's just it seems like for a lot of you, it feels like either there wasn't the help that you needed, or you felt an absence of guidance, whether it be high guidance or friendship guidance, or something along those lines. Also, in external influences, for a clarifying card, that feeling is causing you to actually, for some of you, to miss the guidance that is actually there. So this inner turmoil that is becoming so exhausting, that has you so defensive, just so on guard, you do have the guidance. If you just can step back, see things for what they are, put this in motion for many of you, when you went within to really try to figure things out and find perspective. Use that. Use those tools. And step away from this inner turmoil, because for so many of you it's exhausting. And it's exhausting because it's time for you to move past it. And trust your instincts, trust your intuition. Fear is the worst thing in the world, you guys. I mean, it can feel, it can take something that's not really there and make it seem so vastly possible, so real. Fear is a very powerful thing, but it's a very hindering thing. And I think a lot of you are hindering yourselves out of fear. Fear that formed from a past situation. Fear that is forming from a lack of trust. A huge amount of uncertainty. So, moving on. I hope this video is not running too long. This is just like really like, this message is so prominent it's just very prominent. So the next one, the next position is hopes and fears, and it's really, again, keeping with the rest of it. You're hoping that you're able to see things for what they are, that you're not gonna miss out on something, but at the same time, you're fearing that you will. You're fearing that you don't, that you're so wrapped up in your internal issues that you are going to miss the beauty that is around you. You are going to miss the possibilities that are being presented. And for some of you, if you are not able to come out of your shell, so to speak, that defensive armor, you might miss something that's really, really good. And again, for some of you, this might be another person that you're dealing with that has all this going on. And well, we'll get to the outcome cards and talk about that a little bit. So the clarifying cards on this, like, am I gonna miss something? Am I gonna miss what's around me by being so wrapped up in what I have going on? Or am I just gonna grab onto life, apply the lessons I've learned, hope for the best, hold on to my faith, and move forward? Okay, that's your hopes and fears for a lot of you. And again, that could apply to any aspect of life. For some of you, it may be career. For some of you, it may be a family issue. Like I said, I think for some of you, there is something about being reunited with somebody who it feels like a chance to resolve something that happened a long time ago with a person. For some of you, for others of you, this is a love relationship. For a lot of you, I think this is a love relationship. And I say that because here we are again in hopes and fears. So you're really wanting so bad to accept what's being offered. And you're wanting so much for what's being offered to be real, to be trusted, to be worthy of your trust, your loyalty, your love, your conditioning in a positive way, your effort. If this is a career issue. But your effort, no matter what aspect of life, you want to accept what's being offered to you. That is just a predominant. That is the predominant message here for a lot of you. Seeing it, but being not quite sure about it. And for a lot of you, knowing that could cause you to miss out, but still kind of standing back. Wanting so much to move forward, hoping so much that this is a real thing, that the repeated pain from the past, or excuse me, that the pain from the past will not be repeated if you take that leap of faith. Now, in the outcome position, for a lot of you, I think that you should take the leap of faith. I think you're going to be okay if you do that, and I'll show you why. For the foundation cards, we have the Page of Cups. So this is clarity. This is reflection. This is for some of you, getting maybe through dreams or meditation, or some of you may just have that specific talent where you get what I call downloads from your guides and guardians. It feels like for some of you, high messages are coming down to you, are coming through you, I should say, and letting you know what you should do. The other foundation cards, these came out together, so I wanted to keep them together. We have the Four of Cups reversed, and we have the Web reversed. So, hopefully you guys can see these Four of Cups and the Web. So, what I see in these cards is, again, the opportunity to take that leap of faith, to go for it, to not just be in its upright position, to not just be sitting around waiting for something, but to go for it, go get it. And for many of you, it's gonna be okay. You're just you know, in this upright position, this is a card of it's definitely a card of a major decision. For me personally, when I see this card, there is a lot of deceit and treachery, but it's reversed. So here you go for your outcome, your base cards. You have deep reflection, insight, high knowledge coming through the high places, God, Spirit, the infinite Christ, insight, intuition. Go for it. Relax. There's no need to be discontent. Let that uncertainty go. Leap of faith. And I think that's something that you can trust. I think that for many of you, whatever happened in the past that seems like it was a necessary lesson, right now, at this pivotal point, everything that you learned is going to be applicable. And I'm talking about everything you learned if you remove the fear aspect. Look at the lessons you learned minus the fear. Apply that. Move forward. No more stagnation. The clarifying cards for the outcome. We have the Devil reversed. It's okay, you guys. It's okay. We have the Wheel. Again, this feels like just a pivotal moment, a fateful interaction, a fateful partnership, a fateful event, circumstance. And even though you're still going to be weary, if you can allow yourself to trust, you're going to have the guidance that you felt like or feel like you didn't have or don't have. You're going to have it, and it's going to be okay. Let me check the time on this and see if I can pull some. I'll pull 3 cards from the high deck. See what kind of advice we have on this for you guys. Yeah. You gotta stay away from the dark thoughts, y'all. See there? It's time to move. It's time to move forward. It's time to spread your wings. It's time to take that leap of faith. For many of you, that's what it feels like. Please don't hunt me down if you decide to trust someone and they end up deceiving you. This is a general reading, so this is for a whole lot of people. I'm telling you, I take in what resonates, and then I give it out and let you guys do with it what you will. But it definitely seems like whatever this past issue was, it's time to see things for what they are. It's time to remove the fear aspect. So we want to stay away from dark thoughts. This deck, this deck that I told you guys I use for high information, I almost never apply the universal meaning. They look very specific to me. So what I'm telling you now is you're being pulled between fear and enlightenment. You're being pulled between fear and movement. You're being pulled between fear and faith. Movement. Can you see the light through the darkness? So, I wish you guys all the best. I hope this resonated with you. I hope that you are able to move forward with hope and faith and put the fear aside as much as you possibly can, because fear is a horrible, damaging thing that gets in our way. So I'm going to close this out, and I'll check in with you guys in a couple of weeks, Taurus. Okay? God bless. If you want a personal reading, my information is in the information box below. Send me an email. Please leave comments. I'd love to hear if this resonated with you and why. If it didn't resonate with you and why, there's no reason to be an asshole about any of it, of course. But I do want to hear the feedback, because I'm always learning. I'm a student, and you guys are helping me learn, and I appreciate that. So I'll check back in with you in a couple of weeks. God bless.